What's going on, guys? I'm GregglesTV. My buddy over here is Initial Focus. We're both YouTubers. We both talk tech. This is the TekBloid podcast for June 23rd, 2016. And we're going to talk two topics today. OnePlus 3, we both have the phone now. So we're going to give you our thoughts, impressions on that device. And also, we're going to talk about the new Nexus phone, which is a 5-inch phone that the specs just got leaked. So right off the bat, we're going to start with the new Nexus phone, and HTC's making it, and HTC makes some solid devices, right? I mean, I've actually never, I don't think I've handled an HTC phone, Android phone, but I've never held it for longer than just like checking someone's phone out. And it feels nice. It's fast. It's pretty cool. A lot of people don't like their cameras. I know that, which is a shame because it's pretty easy, I think, now to make a camera that's a phone that's inexpensive with a good camera. The specs on this phone, I don't know if do you have it up right now?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. So it's a 5-inch phone with a 1080p screen, 440 pixels per inch, quad-core processor, 2 gigahertz speed, 64-bit, and they don't know what the processor is. So it might be a Snapdragon 823, might be an 820. They don't know. So I'm thinking it's going to be something less. I bet you it's going to be like a 652, a Snapdragon 652. 12 megapixel rear camera, 8 megapixel front camera, 4 gigabytes of RAM. A lot of new phones are coming with 6 gigabytes, or they will be this very soon, which is crazy. But 4 gigabytes is still should be plenty enough. 32 gigabytes of storage, a 2700 or 2770. That extra 70 milliamps is really going to take over. Rear fingerprint scanner, which is awesome. I love that on my Nexus phone. That's actually a really good place to have it. USB-C port. You must be stoked because you love USB-C. Bottom-facing speakers rather than front-facing speakers, which is actually
That's an interesting.
yeah, because that's what HTC is known for, is front-facing speakers.
And
then
Nexus now, or the
yeah,
Nexus phones.
and a top-mounted headphone jack and Bluetooth 4.2. What do you think, man?
I mean, What screen size isn't the Nexus 6P like a 5.8 inch or 5.6 inch, or it's a big ass screen, isn't it?
Yes.
So, although they're probably gonna have multiple phones again. I'm not the master of Nexus history, but a 5-inch definitely seems like a interesting. See, I like the fact that it's a 1080p screen.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't notice a difference,
especially on a 5-inch.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's all the whole RAM thing. Like, I hope it doesn't kind of become like the megapixel race was a couple years ago. Like you said, most cameras nowadays have kind of like leveled out because they're all pretty much, pretty decent.
Yeah.
So I hope people don't just, now that OnePlus has 6 gigs RAM, which is useful, and running tests and things, like it's definitely getting used up some of the time, but I hope it doesn't become this just like little pissing contest for who has the most RAM.
But it helps.
Yeah, but I mean,
Android phones, especially Android, because Android is not the best at memory management, and also a lot of their phones are different. So these app developers don't I guess they don't, and they probably have a tough time optimizing the apps to run really good on all these different Android phones. So it creates some phones that struggle with the app because it's not optimized for that specific phone. So I think 4 gigabytes now is like, you shouldn't release a phone unless it has at least 4. I think 4 gigabytes is going to be for lower to mid tier phones. And then higher tier phones are going to be now 6 to 8 gigabytes, which again is crazy. Like, most people's computers only have 4 gigabytes of RAM, especially people that don't have a high powered computer. Like, that's crazy. And now your phone has more RAM than you do.
It'll be interesting to see the dimensions of it, because like my 6S Plus is a 2700 milliamp battery, and that's a 5.5-inch screen. So it'll be interesting to see if it has to be thicker or anything on a 5-inch. That, and what's your opinion on the top-mounted headphone jack? I personally hate that move. Hate top mounted.
I forget where it is on the. Where is it on the OnePlus? It's on the On OnePlus is at the bottom. I don't know if I really care, to be honest. I don't use the headphone jack anymore. I have some V-Moda headphones, and they have Bluetooth built into them, and you can use cable. And I always use Bluetooth now. I hate getting that cable all wrapped.
All right, hit start streaming again.
Okay. All right, so we're back live. Sorry about that. His
OBS did not.
we use OBS, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's basically a program that lets you live stream anything you want, video games, what we're doing now, anything really. And that's what most people use. It's a free program, so we're back anyway. To get back to it, we were just talking headphone jack and where we like the placement of it to be, and I don't care if it's at the bottom so much because, like I said, I don't really use it. But if I had to, yeah, at the bottom is probably most optimum.
I agree. Wireless is definitely where it's at.
Yeah.
So I don't care. I'm kind of half surprised they still have the headphone jack, but and everything else, I mean, looks good. USB-C, like you said, I'm excited for anyone to jump on that model.
But you know what the problem is though with USB-C or really all these is like now I have some chargers that can fast charge my Nexus device, some chargers that can fast charge only my OnePlus device. So it's like they have these two or three different things that they don't all my fast charger for my device for my Nexus won't fast charge my OnePlus. It's kind of annoying.
It's definitely kind of a frustrating thing of, USB is meant to be universal, but OnePlus is, partnered with Dash charging, and then they all have their different semi-proprietary where like the port will fit and it will charge your phone, but you won't get the fast or Dash or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah. And this phone this new Nexus device is going to replace the Nexus 5X. It's the same size. It's just got some better. I think the Nexus 5X now only has 3 gigabytes of RAM. Or actually, it only has 2 actually. And a lot of people kind of complain that it was laggy at times. So I think them doubling up the RAM and will help a lot with this phone. So
cool.
Other than that, let's talk OnePlus 3. I've personally had this phone for I forget what day. I got it Monday.
Yeah.
And I've been playing with it since then, and it's been my main phone since that day, and I love this phone, man. It's blown me away. I didn't think after the OnePlus 2, which I didn't play with, but I know it didn't get the best of reviews and it didn't get the best of words spoken about. A lot of people were complaining about it, and this phone friggin' blows me away. It's too fast. Like the fingerprint sensor, I pick up this freaking phone, dude. Every time, because usually when you grab your phone, you don't grab it like where the screen is. You grab it usually where the where the fingerprint sensor is, right?
Yep.
So like I just do it and it's already unlocked.
Yeah.
It's so fast, man. I love it. I love this phone. It's so fast.
I knew you would. As soon as I started playing with it last weekend, and you said yours was going to be there Monday, and I knew you were going back and forth on whether or not you'd keep it or just review it or whatever, and I was like, man, you're gonna love it. You're gonna.
I'm keeping it, man. I'll probably only keep it for a couple of months.
Yeah,
but
until something new comes out.
Yeah, like when the new Note phone comes out, maybe I'll go back to this, but like it's gonna be hard because just to go off track a little bit, the new Note phone, there's rumors that it's gonna be a 4K screen, which if you combine that with the VR, it's gonna be very fun. But we can talk about that another day. But yeah, this phone, I don't have any complaints about it. People said the battery life was mediocre, but honestly, compared to my Samsung phone, the S7 Edge, I actually feel it's a little bit better. It's definitely better than my Nexus phone, the battery life. Well, it's faster. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I ran, in my video yesterday, I ran Geekbench battery test, which for those of you who don't know, you literally just leave both phones on, and it basically calculates and drains the battery with a dim screen. And in my opinion, the iPhone is the best optimized phone I've ever used, and I think a lot of people would agree with that, whether you love them or hate them. The standby time is always amazing. On-screen time is very good, and the OnePlus beat it by 6 minutes. So I'm saying it's essentially the same, but the OnePlus 2 definitely wasn't that. I mean, I've told you before, I'd leave my OnePlus 2 for an hour, and it would just be, the screen would be off on standby mode, and it would lose 10 to 20% doing nothing. And this phone, I've gone 1.5 days with average use, and definitely a full day with still full use. And I mean, obviously, if I sit there for hours on end, no phone's going to last. You know, if you're playing games for 4 hours straight, it's going to die. But with the dash charging, it doesn't matter. Like, charges so dang fast.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I put it on there for like, I don't know, I forget, not very long, and it friggin', I was at like 20%, and you know, I don't even, again, it was probably less than an hour for sure. It was at like 80%.
Yep.
Way less than an hour, maybe like 30 minutes or something. And it's like, I'm still going to do my test on the 30 minutes. Does it hit 60% or not, like they say it can? But it's just an amazing phone. Like, if anybody is getting an Android phone, it makes you second guess having to need a 2K screen, because I look at the screen and I'm not like, I wish it was 2K, or it looks shitty, and it doesn't. It looks good.
Yeah.
Like, it's a solid screen, and the camera's solid. Like, a lot of people, I mean, I haven't taken a ton of photos, but the photos I have taken, I'm not unimpressed with them.
I think it's the best camera. Like we were talking about slightly before, like, I'm a fan of more neutral colors. I don't like when a camera super saturates or anything.
Yeah.
And I think these are probably the best, or at least one of the best that I have seen.
Yeah, it's a great phone. The inclusion of NFC this year, when they didn't have that last year, which is weird, but the inclusion of that is makes this phone also a better buy than last year. There's no reason. They should actually just get rid of the OnePlus 2. There's no reason for it. There's none.
Yeah. It was funny how that, like you said, they've basically taken all the shortcomings that people complained so much about last year, and NFC was one of the big ones. And I actually asked the project manager in line, so, like, why did you guys take away NFC? And he just looks at me, he was like, that was not my call. You can tell they just want the world to forget that they took away NFC. And I mean, there are reasons too. I mean, not everyone uses NFC, and they wanted it to be more inexpensive.
It's so cheap, man. And it's like, it's so cheap. And honestly, I don't use it every day. I don't use it every week. When I do, I just want to know I can use it, especially with it being cheap technology. You know, just like I would love it if this had a 2K screen, just because in my mind, I think I need it because now every high-end phone has it.
Yeah.
But you don't need it, you know? And that's actually probably why this phone actually performs a lot better and faster than the Samsung phone. Like, if you see some of my benchmark videos, this phone, especially when you run the test back to back to back, it actually destroys the Samsung phone, because the Samsung phone gets too hot when you run those stress tests on it. And this phone gets warm, but it can distribute the heat really well.
Yeah, it's just, it's hard to even find a super bad thing about it.
What's one thing you don't like about it then? Like, say there's 3 things you could improve on, and don't just say, 2K screen or 4K screen. Like, what's 3 things that you wish maybe it could do better or had? That's a tough question. You're like, nothing.
All right. Well, see, that's a good thing. Like, you have to get really nitpicky. I agree. I saw one review. What I did like about the OnePlus 2 is how the power and the volume was on the same size. I did kind of like that.
Can I jump on that?
Yeah.
I don't mind that they're on opposite ends. What confuses me sometimes is when I go to do the volume and I actually put my finger where the slider is
Yeah,
because that's where it is on the Samsung phone.
hmm.
So the volume to me on the left-hand side seems too low.
Okay.
So I almost wish it was maybe a little bit lower than that at this point because I don't know. It's just I always hit that. Always hit the slider. The slider's cool because it's a nice button. You don't have to go into your settings to mute stuff off or turn on Do Not Disturb. You just flick the switch up, kind of like an iPhone.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it has three settings, right?
Yes.
Yeah, three settings.
A lot of people wish that you could, in the settings, switch it though. MKBHD said that. And
The one so its bottom is off and top is on. Yeah.
But
No, that's a software thing, man.
Yeah.
That's all that is. That's all they have to do.
someone in the line asked the project manager. He was like, maybe, like, we'll think about it. Thanks for the input. But
Dude, the buttons at the bottom, you can switch them. If you want your back button on the right.
no, I'm
can
talking
switch.
about this.
No, I know you are, but I'm just saying that the back buttons is a software thing, so they can definitely switch this to be a software. It's just they just have to reprogram the toggles a
Like
little bit.
one line of code, whatever.
Yeah, dude, just do it. All right, so what's two other things that you maybe wish they could
I
change?
really, and we were talking about this beforehand, but I really want every phone to come out with some type of water, even if it's not proofing.
Yes.
Some type of, like, if I'm in a torrential downpour and this is in my pocket, I want it to be okay. I don't care if I can't jump in the pool with it. Like, that's cool. Like, that's great. The S7 was fantastic at under promising and over delivering. But I wish there was some type of water something.
No, you're right on. I think I actually forgot about that. Again, it's not a feature that I use every time, but if I had it, I'd be stoked about it. It'd be something that I would love to have. Guys, if you have questions, ask them in the chat, either below or to the right, depending upon what device you're using. Ask us anything. Waterproofing or water resistance is I think it's almost a necessity now in terms of what you expect in a high-end phone. And that's, I think, obviously one of the shortcuts they took with this phone is that they didn't, this phone's $400. If you go to AT&T or Verizon or whoever and you buy a S7 Edge, you bought it outright, they're going to charge you $700-800. I mean, you can buy it on eBay for cheaper, like a brand new one unlocked for like $600 or $500.
But still.
Yeah, still. So it's like, dude, $400. It doesn't have waterproof. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
And
but yeah,
me,
I totally agree.
The third thing, and this is like super nitpicking, is I wish, like I said, I love the camera quality. All right, actually, I'm going to cheat a little. Two things that involve the camera. One, I wish it had the focusing speed of the Galaxy S7 Edge. That is the fastest focusing camera I've ever seen in my life. And two, it does 4K at 30, great. Mm-hmm. I think it's inexcusable to not have 1080p at 60.
Wait, I haven't even dove into it. It doesn't have that, really?
Nope, 1080, 30, 4K 30. It'll do 120 because my iPhone can do 240 FPS at 720 and 1080 at 120. This can only do 1080 at 30, and 720p will get you 120 frames.
Where does it show the...
You have to tap. So go into the thing.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
On the wrong side.
And then you see like how do you get that thing there?
Oops.
I'm tapping that. I tap and then I see the little gear, and it won't let me tap the gear.
What gear? We're having a little tutorial here. Are you... What? You're in video mode.
Yeah, no. Oh, it's making video right now. There's a question out there. Yeah, is there a place you can take your phone to waterproof it? I think so. I don't know any local areas that do that. Probably online, maybe, where they put like some kind of plastic coating on it. But you don't want to be without your phone. I mean, you want your phone on you at all times. You don't want to have to send it off for a few days to get fixed up to do something that a high-end phone already can do.
Yeah, the best thing, and I've done this before with iPhones and stuff, is just getting either a waterproof case or personally, like if I've wanted just to get a couple underwater shots, I'll go to like the local Dick's Sporting Goods or Meijer or wherever you live, the kind of store equivalent, and you go to like the hunting slash camping section and get one of those little waterproof bags, maybe $5-10.
Yeah.
And those just work fine.
Yeah. I haven't seen those before, but that's a good idea. But that's what's nice about the Samsung phone. You just grab it, you can take a bath, shower, go in the pool, go in the ocean, and it's fine. At 30 minutes, 5 feet.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll honestly it'll probably be in their next phone. I would guess.
Hopefully.
It seems like they do the good stuff. The real good stuff a year or two later.
Yeah. The other thing I really like too is how you can get the access to the what that. It won't adjust. You can access the notification by pulling down from anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. See, I use Nova Launcher, and you can do that in the
Nova Launcher
settings
guy.
of it. Yeah, but no, it's definitely a cool feature to have.
Yeah, I like what you said when you texted me earlier. I think like, gosh, if I could create like a video all over again, I think I'd title it this. Like, it really is the iPhone of the Android world.
Yeah,
And I'm sure that would send OnePlus and a handful of other people like into a hissy fit.
they would definitely would.
But what I mean by that is like for someone like me or even someone who is even newer to Android, like if they're like, I want to make this switch. Like I've shown my girlfriend this phone and she's like, wow, that's really nice. And she can operate it. And like, she's not an idiot or anything, but like the average phone person could pick up this phone and within one day figure out like, wow, Android's not that scary. It's not that, like it has a couple, it's like a Nexus phone with a couple extra tweaks, but it's not
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's the Android phone that an iPhone person would be impressed by, because if you get a Samsung phone and it's with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint,
It's all different. Bloatware and adware and
that's exactly, you get all these crappy apps, and then you have to disable them. Like right when I got my Samsung phone, I don't even have I don't have Direct TV, but there's a Direct TV remote in the drop down of the notifications.
Yeah.
Like I don't want that. Don't even give it to me. I don't have it. Direct TV. I don't want it. Our generation does not buy TV. It just doesn't. Or if they do, it's the people don't like technology.
But yeah, and it's one of those things of like, it is still Android, so if you want to root it, you want to put another launcher, you want to do that, you can make it anything you want.
Yep.
Or if you're like me, who likes to just take it out of the box, like I did Nova Launcher when I had the OnePlus One, which had Cyanogen mod, but as soon as Oxygen OS came out, like I like companies who are in control of software and hardware, and even though they have the baseline of Android, so they're not in complete control of the software, they tweak it to.
That's what I love about OnePlus phone, is that you get a phone that is basic Android with tweaks that are thoughtful and smart.
They're not just crap.
Yeah. The one thing actually that makes me think of something I want in the software. I wouldn't use it all the time, but it would use it sometimes. Multi-window support.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that, and I'm kind of surprised. I think it will, especially when 7 comes out, because it's built into.
And I mean, with 6 gigs of RAM, it can certainly handle it.
I mean, even the 4. Actually, Samsung phones handle it really well.
Yeah.
Even 4 gigabytes. But it is coming out with. I already have it on my Nexus 6P phone because I have Android 7 running on that, Android N, I should say, and it's definitely on that. So once they upgrade this to 7, Android N, then it'll definitely have it. Like they can't get around it. So that'll be another nice tweak. There's so many nice tweaks on this, man. The buttons, being able to use on-screen or physical buttons. I mean, they had that since their OnePlus One phone, but it's just like stupid little things like that make this. And you can, you can switch the buttons you around if you want one on the right, one on the left.
I
In terms of the recent to back, you can customize those back buttons. It's the phone that you don't have to hack to do cool things.
Exactly, and it's extremely enticing. I've taken this to fellow, I won't call anyone out, but I've gone back to the Apple store I used to work at, and taken the OnePlus phones, and I'm like, play with this phone for 5 minutes, and they're like, dang. I want to know, have you used the smile selfie feature?
No, I haven't tried it. I saw you do it on your video. It's like most iconic when I see you do it because you're like this.
I love. I when I first showed that, I went up and I went to take a selfie, and me and my girlfriend never take selfies. We're just not that type of couple. But like, I went up to her and I said, "Keep a straight face."
Yeah.
And so we just held a straight face, and I'm like, "Now smile." And so we smiled, and it took it. It's the closest thing where
I won't stop. No, it's cool. It's that's something that Samsung has, but Samsung has it hidden in the settings that you got to find.
Oh.
Times. Well, Samsung's is cool because you can say cheese and it'll take it. Stuff like Samsung actually has a lot of cool software features, but sometimes
you just keep adding it. Just keep adding
yeah. Add more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am super impressed. The build quality feels really good. It's friggin' $400 and it's all aluminum, dude. It's shit.
Have you? I can't remember if it was you who told me, but someone sent me a review, and I forget. It's like. It's like Rig something DIY. It's like a phone review channel. He's pretty new, I believe, but he has like 300,000 views on this video where he basically like stress tests. It's one of those channels that stress tests the hell out of things.
Yeah.
And he uses like those razors that are good or have different tips to show you on the scratch level. I forget what scientific term is. And it lasted up to like level 7 of whatever out of 10, which is where most glass phones are. I didn't know this. The S7 and I forget what other phone he mentioned, the G5, I think, use plastic fingerprint for the buttons. And this isn't sapphire like the iPhone, but it's some type of crystal, and it would not scratch.
Oh, that's really cool.
And the back, he lit the screen on fire, and it ruined his S7. But this, it burned, it went white, and then the AMOLED like fixed it within a matter of seconds.
Oh,
like he literally held a lighter for 14 seconds, and then he bent it and stuff. And
ceramic. One of the Thai boss is saying ceramic.
Thank you. Yeah, it's ceramic. And he just abused the hell out of it. He bent it, but then it bent back without any imperfections. And he said out of the 25 he's tested, it's definitely one, or at least up there with all the flagships.
It just...
I mean, we could go on forever.
I know, it renews your faith. It renews your faith in Android. I mean, I didn't lose my faith, but sometimes you use an Android phone and you're like... I already had to reset my Galaxy phone once just to get it back to be like a beast again. Mm-hmm. That sucks. You know, I've only had this phone a week, so maybe this will lag, you know. But
time will tell.
I don't know. This phone's just so fast, dude. Like,
and it feels so good in the hand. It's so thin.
Yeah,
it makes my iPhone
but I'll wait till I put a case on it. It'll probably be like.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you leave the two other things I want to talk about before we get going? Did you leave the plastic? Yes. Protective on there? You're not going to get glass on there?
No.
I might do glass. I haven't thought about it. I haven't decided on it.
On the OnePlus One, I accidentally took it off because I didn't know it was a screen protector. But then on my OnePlus 2 and OnePlus 3, I've kept it. Because, I mean, it's like... I am very good at installing screen protectors, but, I mean, a machine put this on, so it's literally perfect.
It looks really good. Ty Boss is asking if we're going to root our phones. I'm definitely not going to.
Not a chance. I rooted.
There's no need to, man. There's no crapware on this phone. I mean, you can change the ROM if you want. It already comes actually, it is rooted, I think, already. Actually.
Yes, and OnePlus is one of the few companies that will, because when I got the OnePlus One, again, it had cyanogen modules before the days of Oxygen OS, and I wanted to root it. Not because I wanted to root it. I thought that was what you were supposed to do. Like, I thought you had no other choice. Like, you had to root it and do something. and I bricked my phone for a week. And thankfully, like, after forums and like videos and everything, and again, this was my second Android phone after like a month with a Nexus 5. First time rooting or anything. And so I'm watching these videos where the guys are like, Captain Android and freaking do all this. I'm like, what the hell? And finally I contacted OnePlus and they sent me like a reboot, a flash, I think it's the Android term, to flash the OS again. And so they saved my butt there. And I was like, I did it. Never doing it again. Respect to the people who do it. You know, if you're a developer or you're just a crazy techie that wants to fine tune everything, go for it. But me, it's a great out of the box experience.
This phone's not rooted. I just checked. There's a app called Root Checker. I know you can change the ROMs pretty easily. At least that's what I've read. Dude, the other thing about this phone, this isn't my last question, but dude, uninstalling an app is, wait, did I hit that? It's like, dude, I don't know if you can see my thing, but I'm gonna hit it and it's gone.
It's very fast.
It's gone. It doesn't, on my Samsung phone. I see like a couple lines. It's almost like Apple phone, like an Apple phone.
I was gonna say, does it usually take a while? Because I'm used on iPhones, it immediately like goes away.
That's what I think. I think iPhone actually does it behind the scenes, so you don't see what it's really doing.
Yeah.
But this phone, dude, it's like bam, bam, bam.
It's so fast.
That's crazy, dude.
All right, what's your?
The last thing I want to say. I sent you the article. You even talked about it in your video today. The update for Samsung, for the OnePlus 3 that's coming out.
Yes, I want it.
I know, right? It's supposed to fix the memory management. Basically, that they say at times that the phone isn't using the full 6 gigabytes of RAM, so it will kick apps out of memory storage and make it so the next time you launch the app, it will refresh it.
Yeah.
Which I haven't honestly noticed on my phone. It probably does it, and I just don't realize it. But I haven't noticed it. Have you noticed that?
No, when I first saw that, like, I've tried to like keep as many things open, and I like go back really quickly. And yeah, I noticed some games reloading stuff. Personally, I think it's one of those issues that people blow a little out of proportion. Yeah. If you're a huge multitasker, I mean, who am I to say that you shouldn't care about that? So, I mean, it's great that OnePlus is coming out with a fix. And then the second big thing to that is the sRGB mode. Which is basically, for those of you who don't know, Ars Technica. If you ever want to know, like, the super, like,
nerdy
zeros and ones level of computer nerd talk, you probably already know Ars Technica. And so they rate phones on a crazy level, and they rated the screen as a little too saturated. And me and Greg were talking beforehand where I don't like saturation or too much saturation, and every Android phone I've used is pretty darn saturated. So they're going to have a mode where you can turn it on and it'll desaturate just a bit. And what's nice is, at least from the demo pictures they uploaded, it wasn't like the crazy other end of this spectrum. Thank you. It's not like looking at a black and white or sepia image. Like, it's a very respectable, neutral. If you're a color artist or any fan of photography and color and stuff, you'll like it. And I just think it's great that right out of launch, they're taking all this feedback, the RAM management, this, that, the screen and whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, we're working on a huge ass update already.
Yeah, and did you have an update? I think some people had an update right when they turned their phone. I didn't ever get an update. You did get one?
Yours probably. Mine was literally, I think, the night that I got it, if not the very next morning. So yours could have been fresh off the line with it installed.
Do you have your phone next to you by any chance?
Yeah. I think it's Oxygen OS 3.0.2, maybe?
I'm on 3.1.2.
Hold on. Yeah, 3.1.2, sorry.
Okay, so do you remember what it was before?
I believe 3.1.1.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know Android version history too well. I wanted to say it was 3.0.1, which is why I just said 3.0.2.
The Oxygen OS, that's their own version of it. But
Yeah, I know the Android version is Marshmallow 6.0.1.
yeah, I don't think it's 6.0. Yeah. But they also said that we'd be getting updates every 90 days.
It's what OnePlus promises. The Marshmallow update was obviously definitely later than that, which some people were a little peeved about. But I think they push out, and especially for how popular this phone has become, I think they'll do their best to, when Android goes, or Android N or whatever goes public, I'm sure within the short months we'll see a update.
Cool. Guys, if you have any questions, we're about to wrap this up. So if you have any questions, ask now. See a few of you still in the chat room, so ask away. We'll give you a minute.
I will say I plan on putting my main SIM card in here. It's convinced me.
It's not in there, dude.
iMessage. I wanted iMessage.
Dude, get out of here. You don't need it. Wait, so what? Do you have that hooked up to a thing, or is it just Wi-Fi?
It's on Ting, which has been my secondary.
Ting.
So it's been on a network. But
T-Mobile or Sprint? I forget.
It's their own thing. They use GSM, so they use AT&T towers.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, because this phone will not work. That's the one. All right, that's a quick third or fourth downside is it's only GSM. So it will not work on LTE for Verizon or Sprint customers.
I'm fine with that, man.
I'm AT&T, so sorry.
Yeah, I'm AT&T as well. I don't care. And then, because obviously with GSM, you can buy, there's so many phones. You can just buy a phone. Yeah, exactly. And Verizon and Sprint have their own CDMA networks. Well, it looks like you guys don't have any questions. So thank you so much for watching this week. Don't forget, we do this every single Thursday around 6 p.m., which it's not. We try to do it around 6 p.m. Pacific every Thursday. Sometimes we'll do it a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later, maybe even a day later. But so just follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well, so that you can follow. Well, he doesn't do Facebook. Shut up, Greg. Follow us on Twitter. That's it. Follow us on YouTube as well. He does awesome work. I say it every single week. Kid's growing like crazy. He's going to pass me soon. I know it. But he deserves it. He's a great worker, guys. So if you don't follow me as well. Thanks for watching. You have anything you want to say, buddy?
That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys down the road. Peace.